Welcome everyone. In tonight's video, I'm going to do pretty much just remind you guys about the importance of taking your coins off of the exchanges and kind of just a reminder of what the times that we're in, give some bottom numbers here and take a few questions. So this is not a premiere before anyone asks. This is live. So I'm going to do my normal thing if you guys have been on my lives in the past, which is ask if you can hear me. So I make sure I'm not speaking to myself. In the comment section now. Of course, if you have any questions and stuff, you can just put it in the comment section. So when it comes down to, okay, can you hear me? Perfect. Okay, so what I wanted to point out when it comes to sharing I'll start with this. When it comes down to the importance of removing your coins from the exchanges, because of the times that we're in, if you actually read the fine print when it comes down to like terms of services and stuff like that, you'll see that they'll say that in the event of things like bankruptcies, liquidations and stuff like that, pretty much you're not entitled to get your coins back. And a lot of you started following me when I wrote the letters for removing your coins off of the exchanges. I wrote some articles on Reddit, on Twitter, like under AOS Podcast, and I broke down like what shorts are and how they're using our coins against us. And we're in the period where it comes down to that these exchanges, there's a lot of exchanges that really grew and really benefited from the last bull run. And they're not going to see that same success in a bear market. And a lot of them have made a lot of money by shorting coins, by literally just over leveraging themselves. And as people sell their assets, as that pool of liquidity that they have, as far as for flipping coins and stuff like that, as that starts to diminish, you'll see a lot of these exchanges start to kind of like disappear. This is something similar that you're seeing across the board here with a lot of, I'll just say, I'm sure you guys know which one I'm talking about, but you'll see a lot more of the withdrawal stops. You saw that Binance did it. You saw that Cellulus did it. This is going to become more common as these numbers start to go down, as we start to really go through with this into this bear market, and people start to sell off those coins, because a lot of times people don't understand that margin is responsible for a lot of the money that you see in the market, like margin and leverage. Like a lot of times, I'm sure you guys are familiar with like fractional reserves and stuff like that. That's responsible for a lot of the capital that you see. And when you start removing your assets to things like a ledger and stuff like that, or simply selling and no longer exiting a position, they have these coins just sitting on the exchange that they cannot use as leverage to kind of like make money from. It's kind of like a bank. Like if no one, it's kind of like in real estate, like if everyone stops buying homes and stuff like that, how we immediately go into a recession, right? Because it's not moving, and they need these coins to move. They need the exchanges to be moving. And when we look at a lot of the coins right now, and we see that it's low volume, and I can log into things like Bookmap, and you see that it's just trending sideways. And there's buy orders there, but there's not much pressure to move the asset. That's a terrible thing. This is kind of like I guess you can kind of consider this like in addition to like a crypto winter, you can say that this is kind of like a crypto, like a recession almost, right? So this is going to kind of really just hurt the market here when we start removing our coins from the exchanges. And this is one of the reasons that we're going to see a lot of these coins, that a lot of these exchanges that are extremely over leveraged, a lot of the ones that have done a lot of shorting, when that accounting comes into effect, they're not going to exist. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of coins, a lot of exchanges that you think are strong, that when you go to sell, they're going to say, okay, well, we can't, we don't have the assets. Well, they're not going to say that, but they'll do things like what we saw in the last couple of weeks, where they cannot afford for you to sell the asset at that time, right? And this is very similar to what we saw last year with removing the buy button when it comes down to like with AMC and stuff like that. This is what happens when you've over leveraged, and now people are trying to cash out, and you can't do the accounting there because you technically sold positions that didn't exist, and you can't afford to cash out. So that is one of the reasons why that when you see these, just consider like the last two exchanges that stopped the withdrawals, even on something like a Bitcoin, consider that a warning, right? Everything is fine as long as we're running in a bull run. When we have that pullback, we have that correction, it's an issue. Consider that your warning and take heed to this when it comes down to removing your coins from the exchanges. So I have a lot of people like Trezor. I prefer Ledger. That's my favorite, but I do have a link in the description if you guys want to get your wallet from like the actual website. You can certainly do that. But remember the phrase, not your keys, not your crypto. That is a very true thing. And you guys should certainly remove your coins from the exchanges here, because a lot of times people are going to, and you'll see some popular YouTubers, they're launching lawsuits and stuff now to get their coins back and stuff like it. It's really, when there's no evidence here that we're close to necessarily like a reversal here until we fix the macros. I truly believe that. But when we start going through the cycles here and we start kind of like consolidating here in the bear market, and even before we get that bounce, we start like building support and stuff like that, you're going to see a lot of these companies here as people start to sell off their crypto because of inflation or spikes in prices in other areas and stuff like that. You're going to see a lot of pressure here, and you're going to see it's going to become a very common thing. Just pay attention to the companies that stop you from withdrawing your crypto. Another thing, pay attention to the companies that reduce the amount of crypto that you can withdraw per day. Very common thing that we saw in the stock market. So just be careful with that. And for whatever, like if you're DCAing right now, or if you're increasing your positions and stuff like that, make sure that you're not holding that on the exchanges. There's no benefit to you to hold those coins on the exchanges. It only benefits them. They're going to try and give you fancy rewards for staking and stuff like that, but we all know they're going to use it to make money, right? So don't be fooled by that BS. So if you're buying from here on out, if you can't, let's say I know some people like in New York and stuff like that, and they're having trouble with wallets. If you cannot get a wallet or exit those positions from here on out, make sure that you're transferring those coins into your own wallet. So I want to make sure I point that out because that's really important for the community to know. I will take a few questions now. So if you guys have any questions, put that in the comment section. I made a video earlier today about the price points and stuff like that, and the fourth cycle of Bitcoin. So certainly check that out if you're new to my channel. And of course, you can subscribe if you want to hear more from me. And I'm going to write some more articles when it comes down to shorting and stuff like that within the next couple of days. We're going to take a deeper dive into shorting here and what's to come. So look out for that in the community section. I'll post on Reddit and then Twitter as well. So let's keep an eye out for that. What do I think about Robinhood? When it comes down to crypto, I'm trying to put this on the chat here. So what do I think about Robinhood? When it comes down to crypto, especially if you're talking about something like Dogecoin and stuff like that, most of the coins are still held on the exchanges. And I get it. It's convenient. You don't have to necessarily worry about wallets. A lot of times people have questions about how to transfer into your wallet. It's a lot of extra steps to transfer on a wallet. But if you are not actively trading, right? If you are holding, if you're long-term, if you're waiting till the next bull cycle, you're saying I'm going to hold 5 years, it is of no benefit to treat your exchange like a savings account. They are going to use that to make money. Like it's of no benefit for them to be your bank basically for your crypto and not use that to make money. So Robinhood, I do not, just because of what they've done in the past, I put them in the same category as like a Binance or a Cellulose. I do not, I wouldn't trust them, to say the least. So, I think they have a very simple platform. If you're going to trade, then certainly Robinhood is certainly simple to do that. So if you're going to hold a little bit on there, if you're going to say, hey, maybe I need some reserves or something like that, and you want to hold it on the exchange, you can certainly do that. But I'd say the bulk of your crypto, in my opinion, because again, not a financial advisor, do what you want, but in my opinion, hold that in your own private wallet. Coinbase Pro, if you, any wallet that you can have, that gives you access to your own keys. You can look up like custodial versus non-custodial, And any wallet that gives you access to your own keys is okay, right? As long as you have control of that. But if you're pretty much, because even with Robinhood, what happens is if you leave it on the exchange, they'll have these wallets and they'll pretty much pool everybody's crypto together. And they're literally going to treat that like a bank account when it comes down to things like shorting and leveraging those positions. It's of no benefit for an exchange to just simply hold your crypto for the next 5 years, next 10 years, unless they're going to do what with it, which is leverage it and make money. So we see this kind of like with wraparound tokens and stuff like that. Even when we did the math with Binance, and I said that they're going to have to purchase around like 400 million coins, and we saw that within the next week or so, that purchase was made. This is typical to what happens when you have these entities that pools everybody's crypto together. But if you read the fine print on, I'll say several of the bigger exchanges, read what happens in the event of a liquidation. Read what happens in the event of like a bankruptcy. Read what happens. Read what happens, and they'll pretty much tell you. You're gonna have to go through some pages to get there, but they'll pretty much tell you that you're entitled nothing, and you won't get your crypto back in not so many words. So just kind of read that. It's not something, and this is one of the things that people kind of get upset with me when I say that all regulation isn't bad. This is kind of one of the areas that we need regulation in, because it's not like you're dealing with something that's like FDIC insured, where even though I'm not gonna say it's crap, but it's better than nothing. You at least get something guaranteed back. But here, if it's gone, then it's just unfortunate for you. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's one of the reasons, not your keys, not your crypto. And this is the whole reason I made this video. Move your coins. It's the most important thing that you can do. Trust is okay. I'm not, I have to look into it more to be completely honest. But anything like Trezor, because I prefer cold wallets. I know there are some that you can have, I guess you can call it warm, and have them like, online and stuff like that. But I just prefer, my accounting and stuff like that to be on something that I can pretty much keep in my pocket. Now, you don't necessarily remove your coins. Your coins are still obviously going to be on the blockchain, but the cold wallet is just going to help you access them. But it's, to me, in my opinion, I feel better with that than keeping it online. Voyager claims they are FDIC insured. I have to check into that. That's new to me. That is new to me. But when you're looking so to answer you guys' questions, I see a lot of the same questions here. No matter what exchange that you're looking on, you can even do this with Google. What you're looking for is to see if it's custodial versus non-custodial. And that's pretty much going to explain to you whether or not you have your actual keys. So as long as you have your actual keys and it's not stored on the exchange, you're fine. Because I know people are going to have different preferences. I know people are going to live in different countries and stuff like that. I get it. But what you're looking for is pretty much to have control over your keys. That's the real ticket here. That's not necessarily, I'm not going to say one cold wallet is better than the other. Everybody has their preferences. You guys know my favorite, but just make sure that you have control of your keys and you'll be okay. That's the real ticket there. Let's see. Voyager is FDIC insured only for cash that is stored there, not crypto. That makes more sense to me. That makes a lot more sense to me, because I have not, I felt like, that's why I said I had to look into it. I felt like I would have heard about some crypto being FDIC insured, but that would have to kind of go through like some regulation, and because they wouldn't do that without some form of regulation. But I didn't want to speak too soon, but that sounds more correct to me, Cassidy. How else can one earn interest? See, and that's the thing, and this is what I talked about a few weeks ago. When it comes down to earning interest and stuff like that, this is kind of like the ticker, because they want to, crypto, they pretty much want to recreate the systems that they already have, like in the stock market or what they do with the dollar. And even as we remove our coins, when it comes down to interest or staking, you're going to see all types of rewards come out. Those interest rates they're going to skyrocket. They're going to start offering iPads and everything else to sign up, because it's the benefit of them for you to store your coins. Where we are right now in crypto, I honestly don't think it's important. It's as important to earn interest on your crypto versus having control of your crypto. I think that the control and the actual movement of the crypto space in general, in my opinion, is more important than actually earning interest. Because when you're seeking to earn interest, you may earn some form of interest, but they're using those coins against you. Just literally think about the banking system. What are they paying you interest on? They're paying you interest because you let them hold your money and they loaned it out. If they're paying you interest, that means that there's a spread between the asset that you purchased from them or your coins and whatever they used it for, right? So in terms of banks, it's things like auto loans, mortgages, business loans, stuff like that. But there's a spread, and typically they'll pay you a little bit of interest, and they're making, I know it's more than 10x, but let's say 50x and stuff like that on your money. In the crypto market, what are they using the crypto for, right? Because they're not lending it out to buy houses or boats or businesses and stuff like that. So now we know that, and this is kind of like that's why I made all the videos and stuff about shorting. This is kind of things that we know that they are kind of like lending the crypto out. So yeah, you're earning interest, but they're also using your position to suppress the overall price of the coin. So as of right now, I think that if we have to just focus kind of like on the big picture versus like the actual interest, because the focusing on the interest and the staking is kind of going to be like burning the candle at both ends. If you remove your crypto, then crypto is not working for you. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, because you're saying that, oh, okay, well, if I'm earning interest, it's working for me. But you have to understand why are they paying you interest? It's working for you, but who else is it working for? And this is what I'm saying, like they're paying you interest on your crypto here so that they can make 50, 100x. Now, if you don't care about that and you just want to earn like some interest and you don't care about the actual price of your coin, then that's fine. But the question is, well, it's not really a question, but the thing is, they're using your crypto to control or at least influence the price of the actual coin. And don't get me wrong, the exchange doesn't care. They're making money either way. They don't care about shorting or the actual price of the coin, because you're going to buy it and they get a fee for lending it out. And there's a spread over there. They don't really care either way. They're going to make money either way. But what I'm saying, as far as for the progression of the entire market, we have to keep that in mind. So it's really just, that's why I say for right now, for where the crypto market is, because of the amount of manipulation we're dealing with, we have to kind of keep that at the forefront. Hello. If you don't hold it, you don't own it. There we go. I hope that makes sense, David. You said not being in crypto is working for you right now. That's funny. Right now, cash is king. No, you're right. That's what's happening right now. And I mentioned this in my video from earlier today. When we look at the amount of money that's came out of Bitcoin, it's obvious right now that who injected most of that money, right? So we see that it's pretty much like over $2 trillion that has evaporated from Bitcoin, and we know that retail sector is not feeling $2 trillion richer. So when that money comes out, and we see that it didn't go into the stock market, it hasn't gone into real estate. So what are they doing? They're getting cash heavy. So this is pretty much the start point here of them loading up on cash to pretty much buy the dip here when they feel the bottom has come in. So you're absolutely right. People, the wealthy individuals, those hedge funds, stuff like that, they're loading up on cash, getting ready to pretty much consolidate any of those liquidation positions, those over leveraged positions, and they're going to start buying here when they perceive the bottom is in. Let's see, you buy, then lend, they borrow, then short. Someone else buys it, then lends, they borrow, then short. Watch, rinse, repeat. Absolutely. You got it. That's exactly what goes on. You got it. Let's see. So there are multiple ways to invest with your crypto rather than keep it on exchanges such as Binance is a big example. Yeah, I just think that because of what crypto is, because right now what we're really battling is we're battling not only just the institutions, but we're going to pretty much set the tone here for what crypto is going to be going forward, because what's going to happen here and it's going to work kind of like to the government's favor, because we know that they want to pretty much create like a little stock market junior. We've seen last year, made some videos, they released reports that they're investigating crypto. We know that some type of crypto dollar, Fed coin, whatever is coming. And if this kind of like gets gutted to the point and people are complaining, saying, oh, I lost this much money and stuff like that because they were, following the hype, the government's going to come in, they're going to say, see, I told you so. This is all the regulation and stuff that we need. And then boom, crypto is no longer decentralized. And it's pretty much just a digital dollar at that point. And of course, they'll eliminate like a lot of the cryptos here and the regulations. And let me just backtrack here. I do believe, and I said this earlier in the video, I do believe there's some form of regulation is necessary, but not to the point where it's no longer decentralized and the government pretty much has complete control over it, or Big Brother is always looking over your shoulder and stuff like that. That's not what I'm here for. And it's one of the reasons why we have to kind of keep our ear to the ground with what's going on, and also pay attention to what these exchanges are doing. Because I know it's convenient for us to keep our coins on the exchanges, but that's literally what we're doing. We have the ability. We have the ability that people don't have in the stock market. Most people in the stock market, if they're in a position where they're getting shorted, or they see that the price is being manipulated, or if it's just a bunch of BS, they can't remove their coins from the exchanges. They have warehousing and these funds and stuff like that. They can't say, I want to take my stocks out of the stock market. We have that ability here. We're in a very unique position to make that happen, to literally force some accountability on these exchanges. And we can't give that up for the sake of convenience. So just kind of keep that in mind. I don't want to sound like I'm lecturing people and stuff like that, but just kind of keep that in mind there. So do you think Coinbase is safe for holding your crypto there? I believe it's Coinbase Pro. If I'm not mistaken, Coinbase Pro allows you to have your own keys. And if that's the case, then absolutely, that makes it safe, but not necessarily on Coinbase. I want to be certain here. I kind of have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it has to be Coinbase Pro. So just kind of keep that in mind. Yeah, definitely hit the like button. Yeah, if you're new here, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more from me. I appreciate you guys. Do you think Doge would go under 1 cent? That'll be tough, but if it did, I don't think it would last very long, because I did the numbers, and Bitcoin has, I think it was 2013 to 2016, Bitcoin corrected 86%. Typically, it's between 70 and like 80%, stuff like that. But there was one time where it corrected 86%. And right now, from its all-time high, that would put Bitcoin at like 9,000, like $480 or something like that. And that would still be, within the range of what it's done historically. Will it do that again? It's possible, because I don't know. Right now, there is no solutions for the macro events. Inflation, CPI numbers are trash. As you guys know, we talk about. This pretty much gives some time that we're going to have at least another month or so of uncertainty. Uncertainty does not do good for markets, as we all know. So if Bitcoin were to get chopped down by another 50%, that will certainly cause further, like a stronger vacuum on the market overall when it comes down to these institutional holdings. How much of, Ethereum do they have left? I don't know. How much of Dogecoin do they have left? I don't know. But I can't say that they will be unaffected. But I do think the majority of the correction for Dogecoin has already happened. I'd be very, very shocked if it were to consolidate much more than what it is now, especially if they drop below a penny now. Because with how large the community is, and you're able to get thousands of coins and stuff like that for less than a penny. And now at that point, you don't even need it to go to the moon, especially for people that are looking to trade. It's because when it gets down that low, traders and all that kind of stuff are going to start buying into the coin, because at that point, you don't need it to go to $1 or something like that. Even at a penny, if it goes to 10 cents, like just from one penny to 10 cents, you 10x your money, right? So, and that's an easy thing for Doge to do. So I think at that point, the buying pressure will be very strong in the coin. And I don't think it will be sustainable at those prices. Now, we could get further breakdown of the economy and stuff like that. Obviously, this is an ongoing monitoring thing, but as of right now, that's my stance. Let's see what happens when BTC goes below the cost of mine. We're going to see a bottleneck there. That'll be very interesting though, because I saw that it is, I saw a report today that they're feeling some type of stress just because of the mining cost. So this is going to be very interesting, and this is what I talked about in my video earlier today. This is the first time in history Bitcoin's broke its 4-year cycle. Well, we're talking about this for the last few days. Historically, it does not correct below its previous high. For us, that was $19,300. And obviously today we broke that all the way down to like 17.8. So the 4-year cycle that Bitcoin has always been on is now broken, right? So I can't say that the gloves are off, but we don't know, the extent of this correction here. So we're going to have to, we can't say that it can't go down any further, because when you pull the old numbers, it has corrected 86%. So we have some support slightly at around 14,000. But if we went to that $9,000-$10,000 range, it's not out of the question. It's done it before. So, history doesn't necessarily repeat, but it rhymes. So we can't rule it out. We can't rule it out. Let's see. And it's this reminder for any of you guys that are new, certainly like the channel, subscribe if you want to hear more from me. Let's see. I'm putting money into Dogecoin interim. Let's see. Still believe in AMC. Do you think that will pump anytime soon? And they have a cascade effect into Dogecoin after people take profit? That certainly can. I know some people sold Doge for AMC. I remember seeing that on my channel even last year. I saw last night that Bank of America had increased their short position on AMC. I posted on my Twitter today that Goldman Sachs said this is the second time in history, this is the second most amount of shorts that they've seen in history on the market. So as far as when it comes down to like pumping, I do believe that the lower that things are shorted, because we know what shorts are, they're basically, creating a copy of a sell order that hasn't happened yet. So I don't think this should exist, but we know that basically it's like manipulation. So the lower you push something, typically the more violent upswing that you're going to have. So even right now with AMC's success and the amount that they're growing, I don't believe that AMC is like a $10, $11 stock. Squeeze or no squeeze, right? Let's say there's not a single synthetic. AMC is not a $10 stock. So especially at this point, since it's quadrupled its business and stuff like that, it's not a $10 stock. So as of right now, at these prices, as far as a pump for AMC, I think AMC is easy money right now, just overall. Let's see, Mr. Brent. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, David. Best educated answer. Is it smart to not per se FOMO in? Should we purchase now with Doge? Wait and closely watch to buy 3 cent. If you already own Doge, I don't believe in necessarily trying to time the market, because this can obviously change directions at any time. 3 cents, 5 cents. It really just depends on how much money technically you're working with, because if you're saying, I'm not sure what your threshold is for holding, but if you're saying, I'm gonna, get out at 50, or I'm for holding for life or something like that, the difference between 3 cent and 5 cent, unless you're investing just an enormous amount of money, it's not going to make that big of a difference. So this is kind of what I was saying. That now, if it goes below a penny or something like that, you can. That's why I made my video about the proper way to like average down, so that you're not shooting yourself in the foot. But if your average is, your current DCA is like 15 cent right now, and you can buy at 5 cent, I'd go for it, in my opinion. So but I wouldn't try and, time it like 3 cent. If you're unsure if you believe it can go lower, do what I do, just buy a little, but you have like the bulk. So if we get that flash crash, or we get a tank down to 3 cent or 2 cent, and you want to drop a large amount, you can do that. So just kind of give yourself the option. But from 3 to 5 cents, I wouldn't try and time the market unless you just had like an abnormous amount of money. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. Thanks for the super chat. Not financial advice, just your opinion. I'm a bag holder on Robinhood. If I sell my position and buy rapidly back in on Coinbase Pro, will that be worth? That's tough. I don't typically recommend that, but I'm not sure where you are. So if you don't have the wallet, I understand wanting to get off. But typically, I'm not a fan of selling a position, especially at a loss, to just buy back into it. But I can't say don't do it, but if you do the math and it makes sense and the transactions and stuff like that, if it's going to be very minimal and you want to change, you can. But typically, that's not something I recommend. But if you want to pretty much just have some more control over your coin, and to you, it's worth whatever the difference is going to be, you also can't put a price on control. So, and honestly, if I were in that situation, I probably would do that because this is not necessarily an investing or a profit decision. This is more so a control leverage question or position. So honestly, I'd probably do something like that. Let's see. I'm gonna take one more and then I'll get off because I don't want to turn this into like a movie. So, do you believe Elon will continue to be an advocate for Dogecoin even with the recent negative news? Yeah, I don't think that this is going to detour Elon, because they've been after Elon for a while. Even if you look at my tweet that he responded to, they've been after him for a while. It's going to, and because of his ties to Doge, anything that he gets involved in, whether that's political with Tesla, any like sexual allegation claims, racism claims, whatever, it's all going to follow anything that he's attached his name to. And now, and one of those things is Dogecoin. So I think that he's aware of that, but I think that it's in the same boat as his businesses and stuff like that. It's just kind of, it just kind of, comes with the territory. And I think that he's, he knows that just because of the backlash stuff that he gets from like Tesla and SpaceX and stuff like that. So I don't think that this is going to be something that he's like shocked, or he'll be like, oh my God, I can't be an advocate for Doge or something like that anymore. And I seriously doubt the community turns on him. So I don't think that's going to be like an actual issue. Okay, so I will do a Q&A again tomorrow, but this is already 32 minutes, so I don't want to make this too long. So just kind of like log on tomorrow and I'll take some more questions. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not. I appreciate all of you guys talking with me tonight, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night.